Hey guys, how you doing? It has been a little while. Thought I'd give you guys an update that you guys probably deserve for what the hell happened to my channel. I feel kind of really bad because of just turning it off and not actually giving you guys an update video as to what was happening and why. It was kind of very abrupt, and until recently I kind of didn't realize that people cared that much that that it did happen, I guess. So I thought, because I've had people now contact me on eBay, Facebook, the Discord, and Facebook. Did I say Facebook? And YouTube, sorry, as well. Being like, hey, what's up? So I guess I'll let you guys know. So TLDR, I've turned my YouTube channel off, or I did, let's just say. And by that I mean I converted it back to my old gamer tag when I first created the channel for the sim racing stuff. I removed all my videos except for some personal ones that were still getting shared around some family members that hadn't got around to watching them, like from our wedding and bits and pieces. So I left those live so they could see that. And then I left an about me. I updated the about me on my channel with a brief description of what had happened, but yeah, obviously I should have done better than that. So yeah, sorry on that. I did let all the guys in the Discord know what was happening, because I guess they're the most hardcore retro guys that I actually talk to on a daily basis almost. So they all knew what was up, give or take. They don't know the reasons, but I guess this video will go into details as to why. It is temporary. I'm coming back. I have turned all the retro YouTube videos back on, but I just haven't converted the YouTube channel back to cutting edge retro yet. I will at some point, but I'll only do that at a point when I'm going to recommit to doing YouTube stuff again. But I'll get onto that later on if you want to listen to it. But basically the reasons why, I guess, are work commitments, family commitments, COVID situation kind of forced my hand into cutting that out of my daily, weekly routine altogether, because I needed to be committed to all of those other things. And for various reasons, which I'll go into more details for. Some of that situation is going to change in the near future, which will actually enable me to redo the videos again, and I'll go into all of that at a time when I can. I just can't right now. So you can wait for that. It'll be a worthwhile video, trust me, because I can't wait to talk about it as much as I can, because it's yeah, anyway. So now I'm going to go into details as to what happened and why I did it. So start with, for COVID, I live here in Australia. I live in Victoria and I live in Melbourne City, well, near enough to the city anyway. We got hit with a pretty bad second wave of COVID, which meant that our local state government was forced to basically put into effect stage 4 lockdown restrictions, which meant, really serious things, culling a lot of businesses, shutting a lot of businesses down. Like curfews were put in place. Can't travel more than 5 kilometers from your house, and there are police everywhere, especially in our suburb, everywhere, because our suburb was one of the ones that was targeted with as not a hotspot, but it was curfew breakers. When it seems to happen, we have like a helicopter that comes over sort of a Friday, Saturday night, and actually see if there's things like house parties and shit going on. And during the day, like work hours and stuff like that, and well, I guess on the weekends as well, there are police scanning number plates and stuff. And if your number plate and vehicle registration and license doesn't show that you're within 5 kilometers of your vehicle's registered home address, they basically pull you over. So, yeah, not great. I'm now working from home and have been for quite a number of months now, and that has meant that my office space here had to make room for that. So a lot of the retro stuff got packed up in my cupboard. I've got all my retro systems lined up in the wardrobe just there. They haven't been touched for a while. The only one I've got still active at the moment is my little Windows 98 one, which I just sort of jump on when I've got a bit of free time and play some games that I wanted to still play through on that machine. Other than that, I've got my main system still up above on the shelf up here still, and playing through some games and stuff on that. But in terms of the YouTube stuff, I have no time for it at all. So yeah. The other main reason for, in terms of commitment and why I didn't have time even mentally to think about and do YouTube that made me want to turn it off is some work issues. So internal changes at work, both good and both bad. Also, on top of that, I got a internal promotion, which meant that my job role changed and was much more focused, which required a lot more focus from myself to then, undertake that role, which has been really, really good. It's just meant that it's been a lot more of a commitment, a role that required a lot more commitment to do, which I have no problem with. It's been really, really good. But it's meant that, 5 o'clock rolls around, my brain doesn't turn off from work still, even though I come home, even though I'm technically working from home. There's still ongoing stuff and bits and pieces. So there's just a lot of stuff I couldn't just turn off and do YouTube stuff. But one of the main reasons that I wanted to disconnect and turn off the YouTube rather than just stop doing it, which I probably could have done if it was just work related. As I mentioned, we live here in Melbourne. I have a sibling here on the other side of the city, who also has children similar ages to my son. My son's now 1 and... oh shit, my wife's going to kill me. 17, 18 months now. He's... April is his birthday, so... he's over a year old. Anyway, it's late. My maths is not great. We don't have local family support where we are. So like my parents, her parents, my wife's parents are not here. Her parents are in Italy. My parents are interstate. Because of the lockdown restrictions, we couldn't have anyone in or out. So we couldn't travel out. They couldn't travel in. When the lockdown restrictions hit, it hit like pretty bad for us. So even though we didn't get sick, haven't been sick, etc., no friends, no family, no support has actually been a big issue for us. We haven't coped very well with it, and so it's meant that my time has to have been my time mentally and time what I'm doing day to day had to change. And so because I couldn't change the work aspect of it, and the work changes on top of it just meant that my mental capacity was just at its limits between work and home. I just had no time to even think about doing any YouTube stuff. And even if I wanted to, I wasn't in the mood to do it, for one reason or another. So unfortunately, it's one of those things where just, going through just the sleepless nights sometimes with my son teething, and just, even though he's, let's say, fit and healthy and normal, in terms of we haven't had any, major issues to deal with. We have had some scary moments where we've had to call an ambulance, go into hospital, go to emergency for things that have turned out good, but have not been, it's been warranted, but it wasn't, things turned out okay. And not having support to deal with that then afterwards, I'm fairly okay under pressure. Part and parcel was also part of my job doing things like that, so I can deal with things like that pretty well, but my wife has not been able to deal with that sort of stuff. And so not having friends and family to just help support when you're day in, day out, stuck at home with a son, with a child that can't speak even, like as in, he hasn't learned to speak, he's just mama, dada, that sort of stuff still. It starts to drive you a bit crazy after a while, when you haven't had just normal human adult interaction to sort of level your mental mind. And so it's just meant that there's, I've had to obviously try to provide that while also dealing with it as well myself. So it has been really tough, and so I had to cut YouTube out. The reason that I took the decision to turn off all the videos and just cut it is because I knew that if I didn't, I would more than likely if I got, if let's say we had a good weekend or a good week, whatever, I'd be like, oh, I can do that video, blah, blah. It meant that it was on my mind, and I didn't want it on my mind. I wanted it out of my mind. And so by not having it there, I couldn't just spontaneously do a video or work on a project or something like that for YouTube. I don't know. You guys might just think, oh, why didn't you just do that? Blah, blah, blah. But it was a mental thing for me. I had to cut it, and for me to do that, that's what I did. In hindsight, I probably should have at least made this video when I did it, letting you guys know, but I didn't. It was I'd been thinking about it. In fact, I mentioned it to some of the guys in Discord that I was planning on it. I just didn't know when, and then suddenly an event happened that meant, no, I have to do it. And then I did it late at night one night and didn't touch it again until basically this, now. Yeah. So thank you for sticking around if you have. There will be some changes in the future on the work front that might mean I might have a bit more free time and have things a bit different in the future. Whether that will be before the new year or not, I don't know. It all depends on how the COVID situation pans out as to what happens. But for the moment, it's just going to keep being... I don't even know when I'm going back to work yet. Like, as in when I'm going to work back in office again. So, yeah. But some of you guys may have noticed that I have put some stuff up on eBay. Not selling out or selling my collection or anything like that. I'm putting some parts up on eBay just to help the family finances, just to give us a bit of buffer, because with COVID, while I've been very fortunate to keep my job, thankfully, it kind of made me realize that, just having a little bit of extra buffer now that we've got a kid to worry about as well does help. We've got, finance things okay, but just having that little bit extra, in case something big happens, like we need to move house or something like that. Like if I was to lose my job, we're renting, that would be an issue. So just having that as much as we can as a buffer helps. But the things that I am actually selling are things that I don't want in my collection. They're items that I, bought, have used past bits of hardware, or they're extras, or they're bits that I've had in, around, and then want to sell just to have a little bit of extra money. I don't plan on doing a video on them. They're things I don't find interesting. I don't have any future plans for them. So I just thought I'd get rid of them and sell them to a new home, I guess, someone. So yeah. So you can jump on there and have a look. I'm trying not to I'm trying to do stuff reasonable, but also not give it away, if that kind of makes any sense. It'd be very easy just to list this stuff. Yes, it's old. Yes, some people can see it as, oh my God, it's not worth X dollars. I could charge $50 for something, and some people will still say that's too much. But what I've done is looked at the market specifically on eBay, because that's obviously the marketplace that I'm competing against, and thought, okay, I want to be cheaper than everyone else for what I'm providing, but not giving it away, so that it's actually worth selling. Because if I'm not getting anything from it, then it's the point of selling it is null and void. So I say that just because I did have an eBay, someone contacted me on eBay who didn't know who I was related to YouTube, but did just say, hey, I just bought one of those for this much. And it was someone from America who got confused between US and AU dollars, and why the Australian dollar looked so much higher compared to the US dollar, obviously, which is a big difference. But I just thought I'd mention that just in case someone, is like, oh my God, he's getting rid of, selling whatever for whatever price. That's the reasons why. But of course, I'm open to offers for a lot of things as well. So you put in a fair offer, go for it. And I'm just going to keep that stuff listed. I've got some more stuff I'm going to sell as well, but I'm trying to limit how much I'm selling at once, just in case all of it sells really quickly and I have to manage all of that around work as well. So I'm trying to keep it at a manageable level, but there will be some stuff pop up over time, more than what's on there at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I've got to edit and upload this and then head to bed at some point soon. And yeah, now you might notice I'm wearing a hat indoors. That was for well, I'm trying to tame my hair because look at this thing that's happening back here. Hairdressers got culled in the lockdown, so I have been, what are we, just hit October now? When did we move into this house? Oh, April, May? Yeah, I got my haircut the week before we moved into this house. And it's been a while. I don't think I've ever gone this long without a haircut, and it's gone a bit crazy. So at the moment, I've got the hat on to try and train the hair a little bit, because otherwise it's a bit. It's funny. Someone showed me a picture of MacGyver the other day, saying that he could fix. MacGyver could have fixed the COVID-19, and I was like, oh my god, my hair's getting close to looking like MacGyver's. But yeah, anyway. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. I will have stuff in the future. Thank you for sticking around and saying subscribed, and I'm sorry I didn't provide you guys with an update sooner. Yeah, I hope you guys don't bail on me too much. That, you know, I will have stuff come back. Just I have turned all my YouTube videos on, the retro ones again, as I mentioned, so go check them out and stuff if you haven't yet. They're not going anywhere. I'm just letting you know. They're up for good now, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Oh, jump onto Instagram and Discord, which in the links, because I am still active daily or weekly on those. I'm trying to upload still as much stuff as I can on Instagram, because it's much easier for me to just do that. It's like, you know, take a photo, upload it. That's it. So it's easy for me to keep doing that, which is the only way I've kept up with the retro stuff still. It's just YouTube videos are so much longer to do, so much more work involved. It's like 20-fold the amount of work. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time. Bye for now.